So I want to tell you a story about a man that lived in a hospital for a good few months, and £400 man, and he was basically given all of his nutrition through a straw. He had to suck on this straw, and this bland kind of white opaque liquid came out, and that was all the food that he got each day. So why am I telling you this? Because most of you probably aren't going to get your nutrition from sucking and swallowing. So the reason that's important is because the man reported he lost £200, so almost half his body weight, and he reported that he had no hunger and they felt satiated and full throughout the entire kind of duration of the treatment. The reason for this is the way that he ate meant he had zero pleasure from his nutrition. So he was made to eat with no people around him, and there was no taste, and it was basically kind of this liquid a few times a day, and that was all he did. So when we do stuff that's pleasurable, dopamine gets released in the brain, and dopamine is our body's way of saying, that was good, let's do it again. So how food reward, and therefore the dopamine response, is calculated in our body is how much energy, i.e. how many calories does the food have, minus how much energy do you have to expend to get it, divided by the time it takes to get that food. So last night I had Domino's for dinner, probably about 2,000 calories that I gained from the food. The energy expended was how much energy it cost me just to type on the laptop. Even though I'd done a 3,000 calorie run beforehand, that wasn't to get the food. So the energy actually expended to get the food was just me typing on a laptop. Divided by the time it took, maybe 10 seconds, and then I had to wait for 30 minutes. So the food reward was high. Therefore, the dopamine response is incredibly high from that food, i.e. next time I'm hungry, next time I've done a big run, I know my body will tell me, go and order Domino's because you got lots of food for little effort. So why am I telling you all of this about dopamine and high reward foods? Well, when you're dieting and trying to lose body weight, body fat, it does come down to calories in versus calories out. That's the fundamental law that if you're not losing weight, you're not in a deficit. However, your calories in can be made up of whatever food you want. So you can eat treats, you can drink alcohol, you can eat takeaways. However, they're all high reward foods. And the more high reward foods are, the higher the dopamine response, the more you're going to want to do that behaviour again, the harder it's going to be to stick to your diet. So you're setting yourself up to failure. So you do want to try and kind of eat lots of lower reward foods, which are your normal healthier foods that we kind of all know. So eat your salads, eat your fruit, eat your veg, eat your rice, but try not to put loads of sauce on top of it. Things like that. Second thing I want to just finish on is that the dopamine response does diminish over time, and the cravings do diminish. So if you try and abstain from certain foods for a long period of time, like your takeaways, if you just have a period of abstinence, then you're going to find you're less likely to long to eat those foods. And again, when it comes to weight loss maintenance, which is the reason why I'm doing these videos, that's critical that you don't just start going back to eating all those foods and lots more dopamine, and your weight just then rebounds. So next video I'm going to talk about why adding weight during, or putting on weight during kind of holidays and things like that is actually going to kind of make it long term more difficult for you to lose weight.